Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all of you. We are from Group 9 and we are going to explain a little bit about basic grammar of English. So shall we continue? Yes, we are. Next.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Asliyah Ramadhani. Hello guys, I will explain simple present tense and I will explain simple present tense definition, formula, and example. Simple present tense. Simple present tense is the use when an event is taking place at the time or an event that occurs repeatedly or habitually. Formula number 1, nominal simple present, affirmative, subject to be is are plus adjective or adverb. Negative, subject to be is are plus not plus adverb. Interrogative to be is are in plus subject plus adjective or adverb. Number 2, verbal simple present, affirmative, subject plus verb 1 plus object. Negative, subject plus do or doesn't plus verb 1 plus object. Interrogative, does plus do plus subject plus verb 1 plus object. Example of simple present nominal tense. Affirmative, he is very patient. Negative, he is not or isn't very patient. Interrogative, is he patient? The last example of simple present verbal tense. Affirmative, he goes to school. Negative, he doesn't go to school. Interrogative, does he go to school? Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hey guys, my name is Bayu Ari Pratama. Today, I will presentation about simple past tense. Definition. Simple past tense is a sentence which indicates that an activity started and ended in the past at a certain time. Simple past tense consists of 3 parts. The first, simple past tense affirmative. Second, simple past tense negative. And the last, simple past tense interrogative. Okay, simple past tense affirmative. We can use from with the formula subject plus was or were plus object. Example, I was a student last year. We can see I as subject, was as formula, student as object. The second formula, subject plus verb 2. Example, he drank milk this morning. We can see he as subject, drank as verb 2 and milk as object. Okay, next, simple past tense negative. We can use from with the formula subject plus did plus not plus verb 1. Example, my brother did not go to school yesterday. We can see my brother as subject, did not as formula, go as verb 1. The second formula, subject plus was or were plus not. Example, I was not a student last year. We can see I as subject, was not as formula, and the last explanation about simple past tense interrogative. We can use from with the formula did plus subject plus verb 1. Example, did you eat banana yesterday? If you want to make question sentence, you put did, the first sentence follow subject plus verb 1. The next formula was or were plus subject plus verb 1. Example, were you a student as last year? If you want to make question sentence, you put where the first sentence and then you follow subject plus verb 1. Okay, that's all my explanation about simple past tense. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Fayza Maulidina and I'm going to present simple future tense. As you guys can see here in my slide, there are 4 points that I'm going to explain. The first point is the definition of future tense. The second until the last is the formula and examples. So I'm going to start with the first point. Future tense is a verb form that generally marks the event described by the verb as not having happened yet, but expected to happen in the future. We usually use simple future tense when we plan or make a decision to do something about the time in the future. So that is the definition. There are 2 keywords in this future tense. The first one is shall, the second one is will. So we usually use shall when the subject is we and I and we. So we cannot use shall when the subject isn't we and I. But for will, we can use all the subject. So move on to the formula. In the second point is a positive formula. The formula is subject plus shall or will plus be. The example, they will be there in 2 hours from now. The second example, we shall be a good friends. That is the example of the first formula. The second formula, subject plus shall or will plus verb 1. The example, I will fly to New York next week. Second, I shall make some lunch. So fly and make is the verb 1. Okay, and the next is negative formula. We use negative formula when we want to say that we don't want to do that in the future. So the first formula is subject plus will not or won't or shall not plus be. The example, you will not be alone in that trip. We can read it as you will not, we can read it as won't, you won't be alone in the trip. Second, we shall not be able to sleep tonight. So that is the first formula. The second formula is subject plus will not or won't plus verb 1. The example, we won't go to the festival next month. Second, I shall not come late tomorrow. Okay, move on to the fourth point is interrogative formula. We use interrogative formula when we want to ask something. The formula is will or shall plus subject plus be. The example, will she be fine during this pandemic? Question mark. That is the mark when we want to ask something to someone. The second example, shall we be there on time? Question mark. Okay. The next formula, will or shall plus subject plus verb 1. The example, will you give me some money? Question mark. The second one, shall we go to the party tonight? Question mark. So basically, the formula is the same, but the first one is we are using be, the second one is verb 1. So I think that's it that I'm going to explain about the future tense. So yeah, thank you.
Hi, I am Aditiya Ikhwanudin and I will explain to you guys or something else or bunch of people or I'm sorry miss of degrees of comparison. What is degrees of comparison? Degrees of comparison is a kind of comparison used to compare something with another thing or with the other using adjective to compare. There are three kinds of degrees of comparison. The first kind is positive degree. Positive degree is a comparison to compare one thing with another in the same level. The rules are we have to put the word as before and after the adjective. So if the adjective is tall, the form of positive degree is as tall. If it's big, and the form of positive degree is as big as. For example, Rina is as beautiful as my classmate Honey. The second kind is comparative degree. It is to compare one thing with another thing in the different level. There are two rules in this comparative degree. The first rule, if it's one or two syllables, we have to put after the adjective the word then and like first, then then. So adjective plus then the word then. For example, adjective big and so the form of comparative is bigger than, right? Slim, smart, short, shorter than. You get the point. For example, is Borobudur Temple is bigger than Prambanan Temple. Okay, the second rule, if it is three or more syllables, the adjective doesn't change, but we put the word more before the adjective itself, then add the word then after the adjective. So basically it's just like this. Adjective difficult. So the form of comparative is more difficult than. More plus adjective plus than. For the example is like this. Hannah is more beautiful than Honey. Just like that. The third kind is superlative degree. Superlative degree is a kind of comparison to compare one thing with other things, more than one things. Again, same as the comparative degree, this degree has two rules. The first rule, if it's one or two syllable, it's adjective plus est. So like bigger, biggest, and shortest, tallest, heaviest, and then we put the word the before the adjective and don't put the word then after the adjective. So just like this, tall become the form of superlative is the tallest, the slimmest, the laziest, the smallest, the biggest. You get the point? And the example is just like this. Nova is the smartest kid in his class. This book is the heaviest among the others. So it's basically just not one thing or one person. It's a lot of person. And the second rule, if it's three or more syllables, just put the word the and the word most before its adjective, and don't put the word then after the adjective. So again, difficult, right? The most difficult, the most plus adjective. Diligent, the most diligent. Intelligent, the most intelligent. And the example is just like this. It is the most expensive car in the world.
Hi everyone, I want to present the material of my group about passive voice. What the function of passive voice? The passive voice is used to show interest in the person or object that experience an action rather than the person or object that perform the action. In the word, the most important thing or person becomes the subject of the sentence. The formula: subject to be conjugate, past participle, rest of sentence. Next, passive voice with infinitive. The infinitive passive voice is used after modal verb and other most verb normally followed by an infinitive. Example: passive voice with infinitive. You have to be based on your English grammar. Next, passive voice with gerunds. Gerunds are used after prepositions and verb normally followed by a gerund. The example: I remember being took to drive. And last, using to be burned. To be burned is a passive form and is most commonly used in the past tense. However, in some cases, the present of future tense is appropriate. The example of using to be burned: I was born in 1976 years. Thank you.